Hi, it's Gadget UK here again, another short repair on this A500 Plus. I fixed this 2 or 3 years ago. It's been totally reliable, used this so many times through so many videos. It's got the fixed Agnes there where we fixed the pins on the sides. It's got the 1 meg RAM board there that you may have seen recently as well. I'll post links to these things. It's got the PLCC Super Denise here. And obviously it was a major corrosion repair job and battery modded and stuff as well. And I've used this so many times, hundreds of times, for testing all sorts of different things. It's been totally rock solid stable. But yesterday, while I was fixing the floppy drives for Tom Meads, the mouse left button started playing up. It was on all the time. Now the first thing you might expect is CIA. I forget which one it is, I think it's U7 actually, it's this one. So swap the CIAs around, same behaviour. Logic probed the pin here, it's like pin 8, it's the 8th one up from here, or 9th I think, 8 or 9. And press the button and you can see it toggles between high impedance and low. I'll show you that now before we do anything else, and I'll tell you what I've done and what I'm about to do. So we're all booted up. Now if I move the mouse around and click on mouse, click. Not doing anything, and if I hit F4 instead, you can see there it's registered straight away, and if I press it, nothing. It's bizarre. I can move the mouse around, obviously the right button works, the right button works, but the left button is just always on, and it's not the mouse. How do I know that? Well, if I plug it into the other port, hang on, even though the other port is not a mouse port, you can see I can move the ball around, and I can hit the button, and look, that works. And you can see there, right button, left button. So it's not the mouse. So I'll just logic probe that signal. So be very, very careful when you're measuring pins. Count, don't touch the pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's that one. So you can see it's low if I hit the button. So it's not that one, is it 9? No, it is that one. It's on all the time, look. Before, it was actually going between high impedance and low, so I'm a bit perplexed by that, to be honest, because now it's low all the time. So whatever the problem is has worsened. Last time I did this, it was going, you'd see nothing there, no light lit, and then you click it and it go low. So this is really, really weird. So what else did I do off camera? Well, I swapped the CIAs around, same behaviour, and then thought, well, maybe they're both faulty on the same pin. You know, they're supposed to have like a weak pull-up. Lift2 pointed that out. There's supposed to be a weak pull-up on each of the port pins there, or certainly the port that's used for the mouse. Same behaviour, so I thought, well, okay, maybe they're both faulty, so I got one from another board that I know is good and works, the mouse works, put that in there, same problem, exactly the same problem. So it's not about CIAs. Now I'll show you the schematic in a second. The really weird thing is the button is really simple. There's like a capacitor and an inductor thing here, you know, one of those EMI things, and an EMI bead or whatever it is, just to get any noise off, because it's a, an inbound outbound connection there. That all seems all right. Now this resistor pack, it's not clear from the diagram whether it's actually connected or not. Maybe this is the pull-up, maybe this is the problem, maybe this pack has failed. RP401. I think there's an RP402 somewhere, although I don't see it on here. So looking at the schematics here, it's really simple. There's fire 0, so that's the left mouse button. So it goes to that pin there. What else have we got? It's not very clear here. We've got an EMI thing there. Cap. And pull up. Yeah, so there's very few things around there. I think what's complicating things is the schematics I'm looking at actually are for a Rev 6A, and this is obviously a Rev 8A. So yeah, maybe they've combined it into one resistor array on here. Maybe on a 6A there's 2 resistor packs, one for each port. In any case, I think I'm going to look there next. We'll have a look here. Let's just do that. I did pull the cap out of circuit for this, just in case the cap was doing something strange there. You can see it's low on both sides. Let's check that one high. High, low. Yeah, see, so this side here, can you see that? That's low. That's the button end. I'm pretty sure it is. So this is the problem, that the button end is low. This is, I think, for the button on that port, or it might not be. It might be the right button on here, I'm not sure. But anyway, that one's high on that side, yeah? And then the other side is ground, yeah? It's, a decoupling cap there. So that's the first thing that's strange there, is why is that one high? And why is that one low? This is the faulty one. So I need to work out where it goes on this resistor pack here next, I guess. So we got high, high, hang on a minute, low, high, 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 high. So yeah, we've got a problem there straight away, haven't we? There. So maybe it's that resistor pack. Maybe it's that simple. That is really weird though. You know, resistor packs don't just die, do they? I don't know, maybe they do. I'm just trying to move it just in case it's something to do with that, but yeah, I think it's that resistor pack actually. So I'm measuring from VCC here, and if I'll try and not block it. That first pin there should be a dead short because that's where 5 volts goes in. It is, look, 0.7 of an ohm. And then if I just work my way along, I'll try not to block the shot. 4K7, 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 so it was somewhere around here, wasn't it, a bit further on. 4K7, I think it was that one. 4K7, 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 this is really weird. 4K7, now this last one here that looks a bit green there, but look at this. 30 something ohms, 40 ohms. So maybe that last pin has shorted. I wonder if it's one of these where it's shorted to the pin next to it or something like that. Oh look, it has 4K7, I think. Because you shouldn't get 4K7 between them. Yeah, you go, you should get double. Can you see that? If you take 4K7 and times it by 2, that's what you're going to get. You know, because the in series in that respect. Yeah? 9, so we're going to get that all the way along. So it's this last one here, and it's a bit corroded there. So you know what? That last one's balked, doesn't it? What we can do, though, is desolder that last one, and then just fit a 4K7 resistor on the other side. I think that will do it. Now, maybe I'm missing something blatantly obvious here. This is the pin in question. Can you see where it's connected? The ground plane. So VCC's up here on pin 1, so each of these resistors gets 5 volts via a resistor, yeah? When you get to this last one here, the last one is literally a 4K7 resistor between VCC and ground. Whose idea was that? Why on earth did they do that? Why would you feed it to ground? Why not just have that? It's going to VCC and then it's just out of the circuit. It's not used, that resistor. I don't get it. The solder station is heating up. It is definitely these pins here on this resistor pack, without a doubt. It comes across here and it goes like to the third one there, or the second one I think, which is the one that's shorted here to the VCC on this side, which is weird because you'd think that would mean you get VCC there. So I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. We need to take that off though. I've got a resistor pack here that we reclaimed from some of those broken up A500 boards ages ago. So you can see that pin looks a bit dark there, so I don't know, is it moisture that's damaged this? No idea. Anyway, we'll get this off with the desolder station. We'll have a clean around here. We'll clean these vias, I think, in fact we can do that now while we're waiting. Just clean the surface of these vias here. It's just a bit of solder, but they're looking a bit dark, grey green. You know, this could be a continuation of the corrosion on this board. Maybe I just never cleaned up here in this area. Anyway, we'll get the cotton bud and some vinegar onto there in a second. That is not desoldering very well at all. Oh, could be a nightmare this. I'm going to get the hot air onto that. There's no way it's going to come off without hot air. Right, I think the desolder station hadn't warmed up quite enough, even though it was at 400 degrees. You know what, it probably wasn't at 400 degrees, so I just left it another 10 minutes, then tried it again. And the solder, you can see on the top side, is cleared, no problems. This pin here, still struggled with, so I used the soldering iron and the desolder station at the same time to heat that up. And the solder is freed up from there, but not very well on the top side. So anyway, let's just have a go at the whole pivot thing here, just to free these up. This can damage resistor arrays, pivoting like this. I've seen that in the past where you pivot like this to get them off and then they never work the same afterwards. You know, some of them short to each other internally. And that's the thing, that's not very tolerant to impact resistor arrays. You get little knocks and things on them. That's when they fail. But we're probably going to be replacing this anyway because I'm convinced that's the fault. Yeah, so not all the solder has come away on that side. Let's just try moving this now. There you go, it's snapped off on a few there. Just give it a little wobble. Just gently. If you've got loads of solder there, I wouldn't do that because obviously you'll just start ripping pads and you'll lose through holes and everything before you know it. Yeah, they're always really difficult to get off. There we go, it's coming up. It's kind of up on this side, not so much on that side. It's free, but it's probably the solder on the... Up there goes come through. Yeah, there we go, out. So, no damage to the PCB. We can now measure that off the board. So the next thing we'll do is just get the fiberglass pen and just go lightly across here. You don't want to go too much because you could start removing the solder mask on the connections that go to them. And then obviously inspect with magnification. It is a bit greeny around there, those solder points there, and that leg, and that one. So it could just be a little bit of corrosion from the original leakage that maybe I didn't spot. And we'll clean with a bit of vinegar here. It just gets them nice and silvery and stuff, gets corrosion off there. S&P OK means serial parallel OK, and you can see actually it was recapped in the 2019, repaired 2019, so it's not 3 years, is it? It's like 2 years roughly, or just over 2 years. And we'll just clean over that with a little bit of IPA now. So what we could do is we could chop off the 2 pins on the end and then just put a 4K7 on the underside. That's one way to fix that if you've not got a resistor array, but we do have pin 1s up here. That's pin 1 with a square on the silk screen. We may as well just get this one on. It's, as I say, it came from a Commodore board, so yeah, so I'll just flip that over, hold it down and solder it. I really hope this solves the problem, because if it doesn't, I honestly have not got a blooming clue what is going on. I was theorising all sorts of things. I was thinking in my head, I wonder if there's something wrong with the data bus to one of the CIAs, you know, like one in the corrosion area on this board. Maybe one of the tracers has gone bad there, which means one bit is not getting to the CIA, and maybe it just happens to be the bit that's used to read, you know, to the CPU, on the CPU side for that button. But that's not the issue, because as I sort of showed with the logic probe, it's stuck low at the moment. Now it wasn't, it was floating, you know, going between floating, you know, high impedance and low, not high and low like the other buttons do. So it's definitely something at the button end, and it's definitely not the CIAs, because I've had 3 different CIAs there now. Just reflowing those. So yeah, I've left the last one here till, well, that one till last, because it's not going to flow very well, is it? And I'm going to, look, it's not even melting, look. Because it's going to use the desolder station. I left it on for this reason, because, let's just get rid of that bead there. It's very difficult to solder. There we go, I think I managed that. Looks like that's flowed through to the other side. Yeah, there we go. So, I'm not going to clean it up yet. I'm going to go test it, and then we'll clean it up. It really is one of these beyond belief issues, this. I've just had to take the little EMI thing off there, because the problem's not gone away. We changed the resistor pack out. I haven't measured this one off the board, but it was not measuring right in circuit. Remove this cap, still the same. Measure the resistance across that cap, that's okay, it's not shorted, so it's not like that's the short to ground. But I was measuring between the point, I was measuring between the point of the cap here and ground, and this one up here, and this one's like open, this one here was like 400 ohms. So I thought, well, there's nothing else round here. We know it's not the CIA, there's nothing else round here. The only thing was that little EMI thing, so I've removed that, and I've just measured between its centre pin and either side. It's like 26 ohms on both sides. So I'm not sure if that's normal. It probably is. So maybe there was a bit of corrosion there. I don't know. So I'm going to go try it again without that there, and let's see what happens now. I'll be very, very, very surprised if it doesn't work now. There's a black mark on the very edge there. Is that a bit of corrosion? I don't know. Anyway, let's now go try that. Oh my god, it still doesn't work. I can't believe this. There's literally nothing left. I just don't understand it. We know it's not the button. The button works. We know it's not the CIAs. There's nothing else in the schematic. It's got to be some solder or something somewhere. I'll have a look at that socket really, really close up. Might even need to remove the mouse socket, because maybe, I don't know, maybe there's, I was going to say bridge to ground, but when I tested it earlier, it was definitely toggling between high impedance and ground. I'm going to logic probe it now at this point, just to see what we see. Ah, hang on a minute, the plot thickens. Maybe it is working, maybe it needs this cap there. Because if I probe here, look, we've got high now, first time ever, and the button actually toggles. It doesn't do anything on the blooming screen. Maybe this is not alone. Maybe one of these other ones has failed on another button or something. I don't know. It's very strange. It's strange that it's working, but it's not actually clicking on anything. Wonder which one that one is. Wonder if that's the button on the other port. Let's just try that. If I put it into here. I suspect it is. I think it's going to be the same way around, look. Oh, it's not. Don't know what that one is. Is there another one of those somewhere? We can. Oh, there we go. There's the other one. Now that one does work. So, why doesn't this one work then? I don't know, it's making my head hurt, this. This is very strange. Right, I'm not going insane. The reason it's not working now is it's not getting from here, where we're seeing it change state, to the CAA. You know, logic probe the pin here, we see it, you know, it go high, low, low, high, low, high, low, high. Nothing on the CAA, just high, yeah? Now, the fact it's just high on the CAA shows me the weak pull-up on the CAA is working, but it seems isolated from here. Is it because this 3-pin EMI thing is missing here? I don't think so, because I think the way that works is the centre pin there goes to the signal. I could be wrong, actually. Maybe it comes... Oh, hang on a minute. Maybe it comes through that, and then the one side of it goes to ground. That would make more sense. So, yeah, we probably need a wire somewhere here to bypass that. So I'm just about to clean up here. The resistor array is okay. It was this. So you can see I bypassed it. It's the top pin's the bottom pin, just missed the middle pin. Yeah, it's you know, EMI interference, you know, electromagnetic interference device. You know, it's literally a piece of wire that goes through some ferrous core to, you know, take the edge off it. You could replace that with a ferrite bead, perhaps. It's more effective than a ferrite bead, which is why it's got a third connection for the ground. But yeah, you could just replace that with somewhat like a little ferrite bead. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure about the impedance and resistance and stuff of it, but yeah, you could do that. I'm just going to use the cotton bud initially to get the majority of the flux off here. There we go, that doesn't look too bad. So all connected back up with our blue resistor array with the EMI thing missing. Yes. There we go. Oh god, I can't believe it. I've spent about 2.5 blooming hours messing with that thing. Anyway, I am very pleased because this 500 Plus can now be used to fix and test other things. So let's see if we can try and make sense of what's gone on with this component actually. I might even be able to see the problem, I don't know, I doubt it, but yeah, so looking at the board, it looks like the signal should go from one end here right across to the other pin, so the outer pins should be shorted, and we can see there they are, 0.8 ohms, and then the middle pin should be isolated from these. I don't think there should be any resistance there, and actually it is isolated there. I'm confused now. I'm starting to think that when I put this back on the board, maybe heating it solved the problem, because look, that looks alright now as well. Let's just try that again. Yeah, there was 22 ohms here before, now there isn't, just as a consequence of taking it off. So, I don't know. I'm wondering if this is one of these like whiskers type of problems. Now, I'm not talking about cat food here. I'm talking about you can get whiskers forming. Internally, I wouldn't expect so, because it's a solid thing here, but I don't know, maybe there's like a tin whisker or something had formed between the contacts, but actually I think I can stick that back in. The way things stand at the moment, there is no connection between the ground. You know, it's in the region of mega ohms. Having said that, should it be mega ohms or should it be nothing? 8 meg. So we've got a short across there as expected, but I don't know, it's really weird that. It's really weird that. Yeah, maybe the answer is in front of us. Can you see how it looks like green around the ground pin in the middle? Obviously this one here is just a big blob and I bent it outwards a little bit, but that greenness, I don't know how close I'm going to be able to get there with it remaining focused. You can see some corrosion or something, and it seems to be right on the sides of the flat part there, leading up towards the other connection. So maybe it was a bit of corrosion. Maybe that's what it was. You know what, I think that is what the issue is, because just looking at it, it looks like it's literally, you know, an N or a U shape. From this way up you have a, you know, a U shape. From this connection to that, through like a piece of ferrous stuff. And I think the ground maybe just goes up, perhaps round the wire as it passes through, but it's going to be around the ferrous part, because it looks like it's a solid centre piece to this, the way this is set up. So I'm going to clean it with some vinegar here. I could just soak it in some vinegar. I can see straight away the greenness has gone there. I think it was a bit of corrosion. I think we had some corrosion there, and maybe some whiskers had formed or something. Oh, I've got it all over the place now, look, between those two. So, I don't know. It's certainly strange. I've never seen one of those fail before. They do fail. It's not like they don't, they do. I've just never seen one fail. Yeah, I see a difference already, actually. I can see it looks silvery in the middle. Can you see this in the middle looks silver now? It was green before. I bet that was it. Yeah, so just revisiting the schematic, one of the things that confused me with these EMI things, because I was like, how are they connected up? Well, actually they're in series with the connection, you know, so your button connects to the DIN, and then it comes across. You've got a cap there to ground, yeah, and then the signal continues across, goes into one end of the EMI coil, because you know it's just like a ferrite thing, isn't it, around a coil, and it just goes straight through to the other side, and this connection here goes to one of the CIAs. So there were very few things that could be the issue. You know, it could be the CIA that services this input here. In our case, it seemed to be related. Well, I'm not really too sure. It's one of these videos. I am not sure what's actually happened. The resistor was measuring strange, wasn't it? But then when we took it off and replaced it, I've measured the other one. There's nothing wrong with the one that I took off. It's fine. So it could have been some corrosion, but then it still wasn't working at that point. And then I removed the EMI filter thing here and bypassed it with a wire. That seemed to solve it, and then measured it, it seemed alright. Now when I measured it, when I first took it off, it was measuring like 24 ohms between all three pins, which suggests that that was the actual problem rather than the resistor array. Now the strange thing there, like I say, I came to measure it later and it was measuring alright. There was some corrosion, as you saw on the underneath of it. Cleaned it all up, installed it again, and as you will see, it works. So I don't know. This has been the most pointless repair ever. It's like being super annoying trying to work out the issue, but as a result of going around the houses here with these different components, everything's gone back on. Now the resistor array obviously is a different one, but the original one's fine. I've measured the original one, there's nothing wrong with it. You can see there that I did install it. That is the original one. I haven't replaced it. It's the original one. Now, obviously there was a green pin down here, wasn't there? It looked a bit green around there. Maybe it was just about corrosion. Maybe that's what this repair has been. Booting up, and I can show you. Can close the shell there. Look. Let's see if we can load the sys check off here. I don't know if it's on here. And if we go into mouse, yeah, I can move the mouse around and go left and right. So yeah, problem solved, but that is just really weird. So yeah, only a short video. Hopefully you found that interesting. If you would like to support the channel, please see the Ko-fi and Patreon links down below. I'll catch you in the next video.